Hey, I'm here in front of a 2011 Tacoma 4-cylinder engine, and I'm going to show you how to remove this intake manifold to replace a coolant line that's right below. Stay with me. So I'm going to start, just going to take the negative terminal of my battery, and then going to go along, remove a couple of those hoses, remove the air filter tube here, move this out of the way, and disconnect the throttle body right there, and remove this dipstick bracket, and in general, like, get some hose out of the way, the fuel lines here, and so on. Let me go for that. You maybe wonder what the reason for the repair. You can already see down here is coolant leak. There's a coolant pipe that goes under the intake. Can't really reach it without taking it off. Okay, I removed a couple of plugs and dipstick. Good practice always to blow off the area when you remove the intake to get a little bit of the crud away. Gonna loosen this bracket back here now, and soon I think I'm gonna try to loosen the intake. Maybe I can already. I loosened this one, so basically leave the connector attached and just loosen it up. I try to get away with as little as possible. Disconnected the fuel lines. If you wonder how, you slide this up, and then I use one of those. That makes it especially easy because you have to push those two green things in here a little bit, and you can just slide it off. Keep in mind it's plastic. Don't be rough with it. Okay, so here's something you might wanna point out. There's a bolt here, there's a bolt there, there's a bolt over here, there's a bolt here, there's one there. Those are the easy ones. But there's also two underneath. One here, all the way in, and one here, all the way in. Those are all 12 millimeter, and the lower ones, the front is easy. This one is probably really hard to get. I used something like this with a magnet. That's what I'm especially gonna use when I put it back in. Otherwise you might you're gonna drop it maybe, I don't know. Maybe you can reach it from the bottom. I don't know if you're supposed to remove the starter, then it's easily accessible, but I didn't. So yeah, now intake is loose, and let me see if I can take it off. Yeah, I got the intake off, and the issue here is, I think it's a very common issue, and there's an updated pipe design out of metal, not this plastic stuff here that kind of breaks. There's a lot of heat accumulation probably, and over the years gets all brittle. It's broken here, it's leaking here on the other end. So I'm gonna get this out of there and wait for the part to come, and should be here any minute. Yeah, so if you doing the same job and you need enough part number, it's right here. It's all metal. So let me get that on there, but I also I discovered that the intake gasket was all flat and no good. So yeah, gotta wait for it. Hey, so I got this nice new wonderful metal pipe back in. Everything fit pretty good. You might be ending up on here on the very end. You gotta maybe like bend 1 millimeter back that little metal plate there to get it easier in, but once you tie that bolt up as it's bolted on there, it's gonna be all fine. Got it on here. Now just putting the intake back, waiting for another gasket. So got the new gasket, put it already on here. Now time to fiddle the thing in. Only little fiddly part is like this hose here was broken. I had something laying around. So when you put this back on, to get this hose back on might be a little bit fiddly, but otherwise it's straightforward. I just want to point that out, you get a better idea where that screw, where that bolt goes. You know, you can tell it's basically right here, straight down on that ridge. And like I said earlier, there's another one straight down here. This one is really easy. You can actually put your hand in here and feel the hole. But best thing is you use something like this. You know, and pretty cheap. I got that's my old set. And you know, I mean, I don't really use them much for impacting or anything like that, but just to get a bolt started. For this alone, they're very helpful. Okay, next is I've put the transmission dipstick back in place, and this bracket up here, tied up the intake, and pretty much time to reconnect some connectors and fuel lines. I'm gonna do this right now and then put the throttle body back in place, and you're almost done. Okay, I'm done with this cooling pipe hose replacement under the intake on this Tacoma. You can easily do this in your driveway garage. There's no lift needed. Just a little elbow grease and you save a bunch of money. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and enjoy your day.